week in the rear view. How'd you guys kind of attack that?
Just attacked it with trying to get some bodies, feeling a little better. Of course, Hank been dealing with some things, and then you got Solid with the toe and things of that nature, and just trying to get them, to the best, feeling the best that they could possibly feel coming out of the bye week, and just kind of shaping back, going to some technique matters, and just ironing some things out that may not be a big problem, a huge problem, but just as a coach, you want to just self-evaluate your group and the offense and how we can detail and just make it a little better. So
obviously, Saul came out of that game after I think it was his second carry or so.
Yeah.
But what's he dealing with right now? What's he working?
It's just his toe. It's just his toe. I don't know. Kind of on the bottom end of his foot and stuff like that. It's just hard for him to kind of like push off right now. But it's just a toe problem. He's out running again, so he'll be back soon, like real soon.
Like this weekend soon, or?
Well, probably be a decision that we'll have to all go in and see if it's worth like putting him back out there and stuff like that. But he'll be ready to go either way.
And obviously with Hank's performance against Lafayette after a season of so much struggle in the backfield, what was that like for you guys to really break through?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say it's been a struggle, because there's other facets of like the game that we've inserted ourselves to. I talk to everybody all the time about like the technique and effort part, and if you'll break the game down, we haven't given up a sack. We are one of the best units in pass pro. Like if you go back and look at the way that we protect the quarterback, like I think a lot of folks will see that we spend time doing that. You know what I mean? And then we ultimately just do what we're asked to do. But I feel like even going all the way back to Fresno, I feel like we established ourselves, for what we can be and what we can do and how we can help this program and how we can help this team. It's just you got to call a name. You call a name, we're finna get to it, and I think as everybody can see, that sparks everybody else around us because we declare to be that type unit to where we want to make sure that everybody knows that this is the way that culture goes. So run the football, let's get it chugging, everybody else gets excited, and then ultimately more things come off of that by establishing the run game.
What edge does Bari really add for you guys in the run game, and how does that help kind of alleviate your backs?
I mean, it helps a bunch. When you talk about the techniques that defenses use, the closed C gap and the closed B gap and stuff like that, they kind of chase it from the back end. Having Bari softens all that up. So now you got to have 2 to 3 guys, or maybe at least 2. That's checking the quarterback, that's responsible for him coming out any scheme that we may have. And so you try to get him involved, and, he was able to do some of that stuff versus Lafayette, and you see kind of what it opened up a little bit, So I think it's important to have somebody like a Bari that when you want to get your run game going, just to have an element like him.
And just kind of feeding off of that, how much does that kind of change the scheme that you guys go into as far as that pass pro protection? Because he's going to move around back there.
Right.
So how does that change things?
Well, it's rules are rules, and that's what I tell our guys. Rules are rules. So no matter who's back there playing quarterback and stuff like that, when it comes to pass pro, it's just the design of like the element of like knowing ball-me-man relationship. You know what I'm saying? So we have to know where we fit according to the play call. Okay, so every pass has like a lunch point. So you have to know where that lunch point is and how you fit into that ball-me-man relationship. And so from a technical standpoint, you know how to operate from there, whether it be core technique, whether it be edge technique, but just knowing where that lunch point is, you know how to just kind of maneuver amongst that. As far as the run game, it doesn't change as much. Like I said, it just softens defenses up, So zone read is zone read, So now we have an element that where we can pull if they're not, paying attention to him, and he can, get on down and do his thing. So in that fashion, it doesn't change much either. So.
What have you kind of seen out of this Washington State defense?
I mean, fast, physical. They fly around. They got 2 good linebackers. So I mean, you look at the games that they've played, and they played Ole Miss hard, and they played Virginia hard and stuff like that. And I mean, we got our work cut out, you know. So we got to come to work. We got to be locked in, mindful of what's in front of us, and just go out and get the job done.
Obviously, it wasn't your backfield last year, but it was a big upset win over Washington State when they came here. What's kind of the energy in the building right now? Into this one,
the energy in the building is shoot, man. Like, let's go get number 2. You know, why stop here? Why stop now? You know, we feel like we've got some pieces in the right place and stuff like that, and so why stop now? Just go and attack, and let's keep doing what we did. Versus Lafayette. Not that we wasn't doing it before, but we felt like we just kind of collectively all just did our jobs, just came together as one, and it just felt good. And so you just roll with that momentum that was kind of created during Lafayette, and just keep rolling with that momentum, and just to continue to do your job. So we know that they're a good defense, they're a good team, they're a good unit, and they're going to come in here ready to play because you're always going to get everybody's best shot. So why not get our best shot? So therefore, we're going to be prepared. We're going to know our assignments. We're going to know when that ball snaps. You got to play hard. So that's why we try to reduce this thing to technique and effort, because I don't want them thinking when that ball snaps. So just knowing everything that goes on, and I tell them a lot, just be enamored with the game plan. Just be enamored with the game plan. Be where you got to be, and just reduce this game to technique and effort.
Right, and you mentioned riding that momentum. We had a bye week right in the middle of that momentum. How do you guys keep that going? And did that bye week come at a good time for you guys in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, I think it came at a great time because, like I said, you want to kind of scale back. You want to kind of self-evaluate some things, and you want to just reflect on some things that we've been putting together and putting the product out there. So that gives us time not only to get their bodies in a better shape, but it gives us time to go back and reflect and self-evaluate our team. You get what I'm saying? And so we're able to sit down and we're able to make slight corrections or, small corrections to their game so they can go back out and finish what's in front of them. And what's in front of us right now is Washington State. So therefore, I feel like, it couldn't have came at a better time, So they was able to rest up, get their bodies back prepared, able to break down some film and get, some stuff worked out. And so I feel like now we're ready to go.
I want to ask you about your 2 freshmen. We've seen Corday in a couple looks, and Skylar's dressed for the past couple of games.
Right.
And, what have they been doing behind the scenes? How are you feeling about how they're comfortable?
The standard is the standard, baby. In that room, the standard is the standard. They know. Even if their name was called upon, if they hit that field, the standard is the standard. I should see the same thing that Anthony Hankerson should do, a Sala should do, Cornell Hatcher should do. I should see the same approach. Nothing should change, and they live by that, and they understand that. So I guess when we say that we want guys or we want people and the fans to come and look at that unit and say, that's the culture that's in that building. That's how it's supposed to be done. That's the reason why you can look there and you can say, shit, yeah, I mean, they get it done, because they understand that the standard is the standard. And those 2, when you speak on those freshmen, they're going to be pretty good too. They bring something to the table as well. Skylar is big and physical. He gonna be a big old boy, man. He gonna be just like his daddy. And then Corday has some swag with him. He has a little savvy within his game, and he's gonna have the ability to make people miss. He's going to be able to separate tough between the tackles and things of that nature. And then he's going to be able to add to the pass game. He can catch it out of the backfield. He can wiggle. He can move. And then, pass pro, that's just my baby. That comes from me being the O-line coach at Texas. So therefore, we go pass protect. We go do that. And so there's no way around it. So, but, yeah, they going to be pretty good.
You talk about pass pro a lot. Do you have maybe an instance in your brain of like a favorite way a back, really fit the pass pro game for you in your history here or just in your careers, or one that sticks out in your brain?
Well, again, just having the ability to teach the technique. Like I said, we call it core technique. We call it edge technique, coming from the outsides, and core just being on the inside and stuff like that. So just, being able to decipher both or differentiate both and stuff like that, and just keep building like the techniques. It's called so much when it comes, and if I sat down with you guys, y'all would be, wow, I didn't know it all came with this. To me, it's all the same. Al.J. Henderson at Buffalo, he was great. He stick his face and hands in there, man, and Hank, he'll definitely stick his face and hands in there. So I wouldn't outcast one more than the other, you know, but it's just what, I mean, it's what it is what it is.
Sure.
You know, the standard is the standard. They go get it done. If they can't get it done, they ain't gonna be out there.
Sure.
You know, and that's just what it is. And I tell them all the time, and they'll laugh at this. I tell them, I ain't trying to scare you. I'm not trying to scare you, but you go do what I ask you to do, and you go do it well, and you go do it the right way every single time. And if you can't do it the right way, then we go back to the drawing board, and I got to reflect on myself first, because maybe I'm not getting through to them, right? And that comes from my background of being in the classroom, because one size don't fit all. The way I'm saying it to them may not make sense, so I got to reflect on myself first, so that I can get through to those kids. You get what I'm saying? But the thing is, when you're good at what you do, you find ways to get through to all of them. And if you look at them, that's the product you got. That's why you can talk good about them, and they can do what they do. You got me? So that's what we do.